How do I become a YouTube star? Fuck. Don't know, man. Been trying to get views, do this YouTube shit. It's like, fuck, there's nothing really original that comes out of my mouth. Tired of lecturing people. My setup sucks and feels like I've got nothing to say. I got plenty to say off camera, man. And I tend to get people that'll listen to me too, but man, once I get on camera, it's like, the fuck do you even say, you know? It's what do you say that hasn't been said? It's all fucking out there. Everyone elite is a pedophile. All the people that might be interesting or have integrity trying to pay rent. And shit, man, like how do you get from A to B without corrupting your soul? Seems it's maybe reserved for pretty people, and that's about it. They can put their face on camera and get fucking 2K views off the gate. I mean, I'm not conventionally ugly, but I'm pretty, like, marginal, I guess, average. And yeah, I'm also a dude, so that whole thing doesn't really count. Unless you're cute, I guess. So, you know, what is there really that I can contribute to a conversation? Fuck knows, man. I guess I'm just boring at the end of the day. I would say, man, I've got 40 years wisdom on being an introvert that self-criticizes. That hasn't been fun. I've been overly judgmental in the past. I've learned to get through that, get over that. That was definitely worthwhile, just to realize a very simple lesson, really, which is if I lived that person's life, I would be that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sounds simple, but if you really think about it for a while, that everyone in this world, if their situations played out in the same linear fashion to you, since childbirth, there's nothing special about you that would allow you to transcend those circumstances and become a different person. There just isn't. You would be that fucking person. There's no genetic code that stops you from being an asshole if everyone's been an asshole to you 24/7. There's, no spiritual essence that prevents you from locking yourself away from the outside world because you feel heavily judged and criticized. If that person's life was upon you, you would be that person, right? So getting rid of the judgment of these arrogant pricks, even the ones that come at you full force, you have to realize that you would be that arrogant cunt if you had that person's life. So all of this really, all these feelings we have towards each other, avoiding each other, criticizing, hating each other, it's very pointless if you think on it on that level, because it's kind of like everyone's on their own factory line. It's like complaining about an Apple fucking phone or an Android phone, you know what I mean? Those were made in the factory, and that's what the factory produced. And to get upset about it is nonsensical. It's like, just don't buy the fucking phone, you know what I mean? So extrapolate that, and then look at society and the people running it, and should we complain or get upset about this fucked up society, man? Like, ooh, shit, have you read the files, man? you know? Read the files and get a worldview that is incredibly dark and twisted. And then try and be positive, right? How do you, after knowing the real truth of this world, I mean, it's pointless me even mentioning it. If you know, you know. If you don't, by this point, I mean, where you're living, I don't know. It's not in reality. So put all that shit together and it's like, okay, I live in this really nice part of the world that's really stable. And I'm still struggling, really, and there are people who are so much more fucked than I am. And so, you reflect on that. What does that say about me? But I was always going to be here because of my circumstances. I'm on the same factory line as everyone else. So you get to a point where it's like, well, what am I going to do? What was I built for? Why did the factory produce me the way that it has? And yeah, what is the outcome going to be for this certain fucking product that I happen to be? And answer is, man, I guess my job is just to go out there and blunder. That's the realest shit I can say, man. Like, I just go out there and I fucking throw my hat in the circle and I just give it a go, and I, through the process, learn what is and isn't for me. And I walked away from a whole career just because I realized that that was not really the outcome I was designed for. So I am trying to chase my destiny rather than this fate. And the only way I can get there is by being honest. The problem is when you're honest, you get fucked over in this world. So yeah, that is the choice. To welcome chaos, really. And so my understanding of where I'm moving forward is to really change the sort of half-heartedness of sort of going along to get along. And really, I have to do some sort of flip, man, but I don't know the direction. And it's kind of like the job at hand is to commit to train tracks that lead you into the void, right? And once you go halfway, there's no real point in returning. So that's where I find myself today, talking to a fucking camera that no one really, no one's going to listen to this. It's a very unlikely outcome. So, yeah, I don't even know really why I began this recording. You sort of turn the camera on and you forget. I mean, that's what I do. And it's sort of this hodgepodge of bullshit that comes out, really. But I decided to do it this way in an effort to be more honest, in that my answers and metaphors that I was trying to come up with to be helpful, I don't think there's a lot of value in them because everything's already been said. And so the only thing that hasn't been said is random shit like this. this fucking prism of life that I've undergone and now espousing through my mouth. And even now, man, I've got limits on what I want to talk about. And I suppose the process will be to remove whatever barriers I'm using to protect from certain things that I think that people won't really want to know about. Or maybe that I'm afraid to say that, I'm afraid to admit that I'm human and I'm vulnerable in certain ways. So that's the journey I'm on. I don't have a lot to say, but I'm saying it anyway. And maybe we'll get to a place where I can actually, really be myself in front of a camera. I'm been experimenting. I've just been doing these random videos and seeing what happens. You probably need more of an idea before you begin as to what you're going to do. But this is my experiment. So, fuck it. I'll leave it here. I'll catch up with you another time.